Hello, Captains. It's the Doctor, and it's time for another Starship review. This one is going to be another Tier 6 Starship. This time we're going Escort. We are going Tactical Character / Escort. I will be reviewing the Tier 6 Arbiter Battlecruiser. This thing rocks. It is pretty sweet. Okay, so before we even begin this ship is based off of the Avenger. The Avenger was a starship they released back before Tier 6 starships were available. At the time, Tier 5 was the highest starship available. So I do have a review of the Avenger Tier 5 starship that you can go see. Now, I'm not quite sure, but I would guess that the Avenger might be upgradable to Tier 5U, so you could go beyond Tier 5 with it now. However, Cryptic has one-upped that, and they have released a Tier 6 version of the Avenger. It's basically the Avenger modified. So this is the Arbiter. So let's bring this up. Let's go to the Z store, because this is a Z store ship. Ships, Tier 6, and we'll take a look at it. We'll come down here. Arbiter class Battlecruiser. That's what we're reviewing today. Here's some pictures of it. Got a great profile. It looks like the Avenger, but just updated a bit. And of course, it has all the Tier 6 features that you would expect. The masteries, all of the an extra console slot, maybe a different bridge officer layout. And all of this is going to make the Tier 6 version even better. And I already liked the Tier 5 Avenger. That was already a great ship. This is even better. Okay, so the first thing I want to do here is let's just read about it so we can see what this ship is about. And then I'll show you my build. And then we'll go do some STFs and other things, some patrols with it. And I'll show you how powerful of a ship and how versatile of a ship this really is. It's really an incredibly awesome ship. Okay. The Tier 6 Arbiter class battlecruiser is based upon the Avenger class battlecruiser's design. This upgraded starship was designed from the ground up to be durable enough to combat the Iconian threat while still being able to deliver punishing amounts of damage. The starship features a Lieutenant Commander Tactical / Intel Specialist seat. So this is an Intel ship, and it's not a type of Intel ship, but it can have Intel Bridge Officer seating by Lieutenant Commander. The Arbiter class battlecruiser comes equipped with an ablative hazard shielding console. When activated, ablative hazard shielding grants a temporary secondary shield. Upon expiration, energy absorption by the shield is shunted to shields and the structural integrity field, granting a large hull and shield heal. Now that part's random because you have to wait for it to expire and then it happens. So it may not happen exactly when you need it or want it, but it just happens after the whole thing expires. This console also provides a passive boost to shield hardness and regeneration. This console may be equipped on any Starfleet battlecruiser into any of their console slots. You may only equip one of these consoles. Upon reaching level 5 in the Arbiter Battlecruiser's Starship Mastery, you will unlock the Emergency Weapons Cycle Starship trait. While this Starship trait is active, using emergency power to weapons will also reduce weapon power cost and increase your weapon fire rate moderately. So that is a very cool tactical-esque, escorty-esque feature that you would want on an escort. A reduction in power cost and an increase in weapon fire rate. Awesome. So here's the stats on it. You have to be Vice Admiral to fly this ship. Hull strength starts out at 43,125 at level 50, and it goes to 50,000 at level 60. Shield modifier is just 1, crew of 500, 4 weapon slots. That's right, 5 weapon slots up front. That makes this thing powerful, guys. Really powerful. 3 aft weapons, 3 device slots, 1 ensign tactical, 1 lieutenant commander tactical / intel, /intel, 1 command engineering, 1 lieutenant science, and 1 lieutenant commander. What they mean there is 1 commander, 1 command engineering. Why does it say 1? Oh yeah, it is commander engineering. Duh, I thought it was. I was thinking of something different. I don't think they. I was thinking of command abilities there because they have that. I think that is a mistype there, an edit they need to make in the text. That should be 1 commander engineering bridge officer slot. Console modifications, 4 tactical, 5 engineering, 1 science. So it leans a little heavier on engineering, but there's a reason for that, and that all goes back up to here where it says that it is built with the capability to be durable enough to combat the Iconian threat while still being able to deliver damage. So they've built it for durability and doing damage. So that's why it has that. Base turn rate 9 degrees per second, 0.15 impulse modifier, 50 inertia, plus 10 to weapons subsystems, and plus 10 to engine. So that's really good. Can load cannons, of course. It's got the ablative hazard shielding, which we'll go over. Console synergy. Now this is cool. If you get the Dreadnought Cruiser and the Tactical Escort retrofit together, or just one of them, I guess, you can get the cloaking device from that and put it on this ship and get something called console synergy. I don't have that, unfortunately, on this character to show you, but that's a little extra ability that you can bump up to if you had those. Starship ability packages, of course, because this is basically, consider this almost like a cruiser escort in a way, and because of that, it has those communication array abilities that you would find on a cruiser. It's got strategic maneuvering, shield frequency modulation, and weapon system efficiency. Usually, you only find that on a cruiser, but here you go. This ship is kind of a hybrid of both. It's kind of a cruiser that can be durable, but at the same time do a lot of damage. But it has those cruiser communications array abilities you only find on a cruiser, which is interesting. So you can have that on an escort/tactical character, and that is really cool. And then, of course, the Starship ability package. This is your mastery. We'll go over all of them. Absorption plating, enhanced weapon, enhanced plating, armored hull, and emergency weapon cycle. We'll go over all those things. So before we even go look at the build and all that, let's take a look at customization and what the ship looks like and what you can do to it, just to give you guys an idea of what it looks like. This is the Arbiter default. Now I have the shield, I have the deflector thing going on, just ignore that. This is what it looks like, and do I even have, is that even the right skin? I guess it is the right skin. Yeah, so here's what the Avenger looks like. You may be familiar with that. Kind of shortened compared to the Arbiter. Arbiter is a lot longer, but that's the Avenger. You'll be familiar with that. And then Arbiter, bam. So it's an elongated version. Basically, everything's longer. The saucer is longer. Well, everything's longer on it, but it still has that Avenger-like look to it. I mean, you can see how they are kind of similar, even though it's just an elongated Avenger, basically. Now, other things you can do to this, if you have the Avenger, you can, of course, switch between the 2 different types. So you can, like, really customize the look of the ship here if you want Arbiter nacelles or Avenger nacelles, or the hull here you can change. You can really customize this, the pylons, the saucer. You could put the Avenger saucer on that. Looks kind of interesting like that, actually. So there's a lot of things you can do here to the style. Of course, you can always have a pattern on it. The bridge does not come with a unique bridge, and this has been happening lately, but most new ships don't have unique bridges lately, and that's kind of disappointing. But yeah, no unique bridge. It uses the origin bridge. Windows, you can change the type of window. The material, of course, type 7 is what it comes with. That's the material it comes with. If you have an upgrade, if you've ever done an upgrade on a starship, you'll have this upgrade skin, which also looks quite nice, I gotta say. Or a veteran skin if you're a veteran, Or, oh, there's the Avenger skin. That's what I was looking for. That is the default skin to the Avenger. I wonder why it doesn't come up there. When I do that, it chooses Type 7 skin. I guess you have to manually go and choose Avenger skin. That's the skin I was looking for, because this one really changes the look of the ship. But I guess that is Avenger skin. So yeah, I guess you would have to have the Avenger in order to have that. Because it doesn't say Arbiter skin, it says Avenger skin. Well, I like the Avenger skin. So I'm going to keep that on. But that really is cool. So I guess you have to probably have the Avenger to have that skin. But if you do, yeah, that looks really cool. I'm going to keep that. So what I'm going to do now is what I normally do. I'm going to bring up the build that I have on this ship. And note, of course, that there's a billion different ways to build a build for a ship. Mine is not the one way. It's not the best way. There are probably many better ways that you can devise, and then feel free to do that. I will say this ship has a lot of versatility, and yeah, there are many other things that I could do or could have done to this ship, and really, there's just so many possibilities, which actually lends itself to how versatile this ship is. But when you look at my build, just know there are so many other different ways to do this, but the way that I got right now is kind of working for me. So but there are more things I can do, especially to boost damage and phaser damage, which I'm using, and other things. There are some new consoles out, some new abilities, some new sets out now that help do more damage and phaser damage and other things. So there are other places I could go with this, but anyway, I'll just show you what I got and we'll go into battle with it. You'll see it's pretty good. I've been experimenting with the Iconian set, so this is the first time that I have actually used the Iconian set on a starship. So I've got the Iconian Resistance Deflector Array, the Iconian Resistance Hyper Impulse Engine, even the Iconian Resistance Hyper Injection Warp Core, and the Iconian Resistance Resilient Shield. So I've got the complete 4-piece Iconian set from the Iconian Reputation. Again, this is on here because I'm experimenting with it right now. I'm using it. I have upgraded everything to Mark 14, but basically I'm playing around with it to see if I like it or not. Previous to using it, the set I always default to on an escort that I like a lot is the Assimilated Deflector, Assimilated Engine combined with the Elite Fleet Adaptive Covariant Shield, which has a very high shield capacity, and it has the ability to adapt to every single energy type in existence. So it's really a one-all shield that can defend against every energy type in the game. That's why I like it. But I've kind of taken that off for today's viewing of this ship, this review, to use the Iconian set to kind of give you guys an idea what that looks like too on a starship. Like I said, it's the first time me using it here. I haven't done a whole lot with it yet, but I've got it on here. I'm trying it out. So far, it's all right. It's not terrible. I definitely would recommend upgrading that shield though, because the shield capacity on that shield is quite low when you get it. It is a resilient shield, so it's not ever going to have a very high capacity. But if you upgrade it to Mark 14, at least you do get a higher capacity, 7381 as you see here. But what's good about this shield for an escort is it's got 5% absorption, 5% bleed through, so that's good. It does reduce all energy damage to shields by 15%. So that's good, and if you're doing something with the Iconians or something like that that can disable systems and stuff like that, this has a hot restart, automatically removes shield disable conditions after 1 second, and it also removes 1 debuff every 10 seconds. A lot of people have said they like this shield, so I'm trying it out. I'm trying the whole set, in fact. The whole set, what it gives you actually, the 2-piece bonus gives you enhanced shield distribution. Distribute shield applies 170.5 shield regeneration for 5 seconds to each facing. Once triggered, goes on 30-second cooldown. The 3-piece bonus is energy augmentation actuator. When firing energy weapons, a 5% chance of plus 15% all energy damage for 8 seconds to allies within 10 kilometers. So that's basically a team-based effect. Stacks up to 3 times. And then the 4-piece bonus, because I also have the warp core, is the radiant subatomic pulse. It affects friend and self. Basically, it gives you plus 33% all damage for 30 seconds and a plus 20% maximum hull and flight speed. So this is an ability, kind of like the Iconian ground ability with the ground set. That is really good. This will really increase your damage, and I'm already doing a lot of damage, but that's just even more damage. So that's great. And then the impulse engine is pretty good impulse engine for an escort. It has a defense added to it, plus 5% defense. It's efficient at high power levels. It has a flight turn rate and an engine power setting increase, and an energy damage resistance rating too, which is interesting for an impulse engine to have. The deflector, it increases shield hit points and ship hit points. So both those are improved with this deflector, which is real nice, and an improved shield healing. And it's got a plus 5 shield power setting and kinetic damage resistance. Good for those Baltums that keep hitting you with the Iconians. The other thing that I have going on here is I'm trying this new set as well, the quantum stuff that is from the... Geez, which featured episode was it? I don't think it was the last one. It was Sunrise?
With the war over, it's time for us to...
Sunrise. From the mission Sunrise. I am using all the equipment from the mission Sunrise. So this is the Quantum Phase Torpedo. I've upgraded it. And it's part of a complete set there called Quantum Phase Catalyst. So I have the other pieces too. For example, I have the Quantum Phase Dual Heavy Cannons. That's part of that set. And then what else is part of that set? The Console Universal Quantum Phase Converter, which actually gives us more phaser damage, more auxiliary power, improved shield drain and energy drain. It also has a hot restart of the auxiliary systems. But because I have the whole set, I'm getting this set 2 bonus called Phaser Transfer Optimization. It gives me more accuracy, and it doubles the potency of the Quantum Phase Weapon Shield Drain and the High Yield Torpedo Shield Heal. And then I'm also getting the 3-piece bonus called Quantum Destabilizing Beam. Now this thing is really cool. Targets foe, it's 10 kilometer range, 2-minute recharge, 2 target. Now it's not showing me the real numbers because I'm not in space, but basically it does a whole lot of phaser damage per second for 10 seconds to an enemy. And to the foe, it also drops their power subsystem levels, and it increases mine at the same time. Now, Starship particle generators will help this ability, so will flow caps. If you have flow caps turned up, I probably need to do that in my skills, actually, because I don't. But also because this is phaser based, anything that boosts phaser damage is also going to boost the quantum destabilizing beam. I have found this beam to be very useful, even on this ship, which I'm doing quite a lot of damage on. Still, I have this extra ability now that is just really cool. I'm going to show it to you because it's not a part of the ship specifically, but it's part of that set. But I recommend it. I recommend if you've got a phaser build, put this quantum set on your ship. You will like it. It is really cool. And then just to go over all the other things here, I've got 2 other dual heavy cannons. These are Fleet Andorian phaser dual heavy cannons. I do have a dual beam bank, and I know that it's potentially I could even be doing more damage maybe with more dual beam banks. That seems to be the way to go lately. Dual beam banks is a big thing right now. But I like having one and then kind of mixing it up and having these dual heavy cannons as well. And also, again, anyway, part of the Quantum Phase set is a dual heavy cannon, so that fits nicely. For my consoles, again, I have that part of the Quantum Phase Catalyst set. So that's the Quantum Phase Converter that's doing all that cool stuff. I've got an EPS, got my RC, not an RCS, I do have an RCS. Yeah, I did put an RCS on here, which is giving me some kinetic all energy damage resistance, but also increasing my flight turn rate. So this ship is really nimble. I've also got a polaric modulator, again, just increasing more flight speed, more turn rate, just really turning this into a really, really, really maneuverable ship so that I can fire forward a lot of the time. I also have the Science Temporal Disentanglement Suite console on. This also increases auxiliary power, gives me a maximum shield capacity, also increases my critical chance and severity, and all that's based on auxiliary power. So having a high auxiliary power on this ship is actually a good thing. That's going to help me in a lot of ways. And then of course I got my tactical consoles all maxed out with phaser damage, critical chance, and 1 critical severity. Now let's get to the juicy stuff. Well, the Starship Mastery. Okay, so the first one is very cruiser-like. It has a physical and kinetic damage resistance, plus 25. So that's the first one you unlock, very cruiser-like. The second one is more critical severity, so that's kind of escort-like. That gives you a plus 15% more critical severity to your weaponry. This one is an all energy and radiation damage resistance, so that's 2 of these that give basically a lot of resistance to your ship. So as you can see, they've kind of molded it to be a ship that can take a lot of damage or tank a lot of damage. And then the fourth one is plus 10% hit points, again increasing your ship hit points or your health, your hull strength. So 3 of these are really based into what you would find on a cruiser. And then that other one was critical severity, which is good for an escort. So the mastery really leans toward that cruiserness of the ship, except for the last one, the energy weapon cycle. This one leans toward the escortiness of the ship. On emergency powered weapons, you've got a lower weapon power cost and a 20% firing cycle haste for energy weapons for 30 seconds. So that's going to be really good for our ship here, doing energy, doing weapon damage. So that is awesome. We'll look at all the stats and stuff in space. I'll just show you the stations. It does have a full commander engineering, so it doesn't have that commander tactical. So some would argue that it is a good fit for for a tactical character, or is it a better fit for an engineer, simply because it does not have a commander tactical slot. So that means you're not going to get that last tier 3 tactical ability on the ship. What you are going to get instead is a tier 3 engineering ability. So, that can be argued if this ship is best fit for the tactical person or the engineer. But I think it does really fit well on a tactical character, and I'm using it on a tactical character, and I'm going to show you how well it actually does. But to make up for not having a commander tactical, it does have a full lieutenant commander tactical, and then a lieutenant commander universal, which you can make into whatever you want, and I have made it into another tactical. So I actually have a ton of tactical abilities on this ship, and then just using one slot for up to commander engineering abilities, and then just 2 science abilities. Now this is an intelligence seating here, so I could have used this for intelligence seating as well. So you have the option of using intelligence powers here, and then you could use tactical powers here, and really mix it up. I'm not using any intelligence powers. I'm just using all the standard tactical powers because I've got attack pattern. I've got all the attack patterns basically on this ship, which is really cool. I got attack pattern Omega, Delta, Beta, and then of course Alpha, which is from being a tactical character. So I have every attack pattern on this ship, and that has turned out to be really, really, really cool. Anyway, that is my seating. That's what I got right now. Just to show you guys what else. Let's see. Let's turn off, just like I do on all my other ships. Let's turn off all the traits except for the one that is relevant to this ship, which is the emergency weapon cycle. That way you'll see this ship with its only native starship trait abilities, so we can see what that's like. So I have emergency weapon cycle, That is active. Note, I could have other things. I got to tell you, Pedal to the Metal, an incredible ability. I love that ability. Reciprocity, that one as well. Really, really good. I love having these on. But just to show you guys, to demonstrate this ship today, so we can just see what it natively comes with, the emergency weapon cycle will just have that one trait on today. So that's that. Let's go into space. Take a look at all the stats and information in space, because this thing is incredible. And like I said, it can be even more incredible. There are many more things I could do to it that I haven't done yet. And that there are other things that can increase damage out there, and phaser damage and everything, and I don't even have all that stuff on here. Okay, so let's first look at my power levels. I'm sitting 125 weapon, 75 shield, 82 engine, 55 aux. Aux is not as high as it was when I had the assimilated transwarp engine and the assimilated deflector dish. Those together, I get a higher auxiliary power setting somehow with all of that. Oh, and the warp core, that's what it was. I also had an elite fleet plasma integrated warp core. So this warp core combined with those two things, I actually ended up with a higher auxiliary than I actually have with the Iconian stuff. With the Iconian stuff, I've got a lower auxiliary power. Now, that's important because auxiliary power is going to go into a lot of things. For example, this offense here, this auxiliary power configuration offense from the Nukara reputation. This is increasing my damage based on auxiliary power level, and other things as well are being boosted by auxiliary power, especially the destabilizing beam, I think. Right here, this console has the critical chance and critical severity that's boosted by auxiliary power level. So that auxiliary power level is important, but it's not as high right now as I had it previously. But here's the stats. Here's where I'm sitting at. 500 crew, 50% a minute crew recovery rate, stealth detection of 22.22, power transfer 205%. Go to impulse. My bonus defense is really high at 75% when I'm at impulse, so I'm hard to hit. That's good. My hull is at 75,000, almost 76. The shield strength is not the best, 12.4. Again, that's just all going to come down to the shield capacity here, and this is a resilient shield, so it is what it is. My resists are pretty high, 50% kinetic, 49% on energy. My crit severity is almost 100%. My crit chance is pretty high, near 15%. Really high bonus accuracy. So all these things, see what my turn rate is. Turn rate is 24.5 degrees a second when I'm at impulse. So I can turn really fast with all these things going on, which is just the way I constructed it. But there we go. I can turn that fast. Yeah, even with all those things on, it's still not it's not escort fast, it's not escort turn rate fast, but it's a lot better than it was by default. By default, the ship is kind of slow turning, and I fire cannons, and I wanted to be able to turn to the front quite a bit. So I do have quite a few things on there increasing my turn rate and flight speed. But by default, this ship does turn kind of slow, I will admit. Too slow for me to use cannons, I think. And that was kind of my problem with the Avenger. It was a little too slow to use cannons with. And this ship, by default, is also a little too slow to use cannons with. So a dual beam bank build would be good on this ship if you were not going to do things like buff its flight speed and flight turn rate like I have. But because I've buffed those things, and I don't even have the trait on right now called Pedal to the Metal, also helps the flight turn rate a lot. That one turned on also increases the turn rate. So with all those things going, the turn rate on this ship is really good, and I can use cannons and all that stuff and fly around very, very maneuverably, if that's a word. But yeah, I don't have Pedal to the Metal turned on right now. As you saw, that was a trait I turned off. But with that on, I think what I'll do is like the last the last battle we do, the last patrol, I'll turn all my other traits on, just so you can see what reciprocity and pedal to the metal look like, because they are pretty cool on a starship like this. Okay, let's go over its abilities. The native ability this ship comes with is the console. This console right here. It is an ablative hazard shielding. It is basically a secondary shield. It reduces damage to the shields by 5% and improves shield regeneration by 10% just by having it on. But when you activate it, it activates this secondary shield that absorbs 13,810 points of damage for 45 seconds. And upon expiration, it gives me 22,000 hit points and a 9,000 shield regeneration applied to each facing. So that is really cool. So I will activate it, and this is the button for it here. Ablative Hazard Shielding. You can see the stats on it there. I'll activate it. There's the effect. Now you see this secondary ring around my ship. That is the shield. And what will happen is when it expires here, you'll see it will go away. We'll wait for it to do that. Oh, here's the countdown right here. So it lasts a pretty good amount of time. So this amount of time I could be fighting the Borg, I could be fighting, you know, a big enemy or whatever. This is a pretty good amount of time for it to last. I like that, but it does have a 2-minute cooldown. So it's about to expire. 3, 2, 1. There we go. So right there, that green effect is basically giving me a shield heal and a hull heal at the same time. So that part's going to happen at the same time every time once you activate it, but it may not be at the right time you need it. So that's kind of something you got to think about, but it's still cool that it will do it for you, because you could be in the heat of battle and then it expires and gives you a big boost to your hull and shield heals, and that can help you quite a bit. Again, a very cruisery type of tanking kind of ability that you don't typically find on an escort. So using this ship as an escort, you actually have a very resistant ship to damage, which is really quite nice. And that's what they've built this ship for. I mean, that is what this ship is for. It is a ship built to do damage, but also tank it like a cruiser. And it can do it because of these abilities. And I'm about ready. I can use ablative hazard shielding again. So pretty decent. Now this one, this is the Radiant Subatomic Pulse. This is from the Iconian set that I'm testing out now. As you can see, plus 33% all damage for 30 seconds, and then plus 20% maximum hold for 30 seconds, and flight speed. So this is also affects your team around you. It affects friends and self. They just got to be around you. So if you're in a team, activate this ability, but keep in mind it's only going to last for 30 seconds. So use it, you know, when you need it. But here's what it looks like. It's just like the ground ability when you activate the ground ability. And now my stats, look at that. My hull is now 85,000. That's right. It was 75, and now it's 85,000. That's what it's done to my hull. Incredible. And my flight speed has gone up as well. So, yeah, really, really cool ability. It's a shame it only lasts 30 seconds, and then you have a 2-minute cooldown. But that's the 4-piece bonus from the Iconian set you get. I think it's really useful. It'll increase your damage, considering that I have this on a tactical character where I have Attack Pattern Alpha, which, look at that, is already doing a near plus 50% all damage for 30 seconds. Omega also does an all damage. It does a plus 15% all damage for 15 seconds. Then I have this, which is going to do plus 33% all damage. What else do I have? I've got this, which is going to do, this is Tactical Fleet. This is a plus 37.4% all damage for 30 seconds. What else do I have? I'm sure I got something somewhere. I don't know. I'm sure there's another ability that increases damage somewhere, because that is just really awesome. Oh yeah, Emergency Power to Weapons does plus 10% all damage for 30 seconds. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things I can enable that will boost my damage to ungodly levels. I mean, it's just incredible. So yeah, if I can remember to hit all 5 things at once when I go into battle, of course it's only going to last 15 or 30 seconds, but if I can do that for a brief amount of time, and I'm talking 15 seconds to 30 seconds, I am really powerful. And then all that dies down and has to wait for the cooldown. But even without the cooldown, even while just sitting here not using those powers, I'm still doing a lot of damage. So what I can do is I can just show you, what that is. We can look at, for example, here's a dual heavy cannon, right? It's doing, just flat out, without me buffing anything, I'm already doing 3,000 phaser damage, over 3,000 phaser damage, and over 2,000 DPS just on one dual heavy cannon. The dual beam bank, it does less. See, it does less than the dual beam bank. The problem with the dual beam banks is accuracy, because if you miss, I mean, when you hit it, you're doing good, but if you miss, you're not getting all that damage there. So 1898 DPS and then 2372 phaser damage. Now this is that special quantum phase cannons that's part of that quantum catalyst set. It's doing 2000 DPS and 3000 phaser damage, so it's almost as much as a fleet phaser. It's just right under it. So the dual beam bank is actually the weaker of all of them. These are actually stronger. Just for comparison's sake, let's look at the rest here. 718 DPS on the quantum phase torpedo, 7000 kinetic damage, but it does strip shields. This one is, these are of course turrets, 1000 DPS on the turrets, 821 phaser damage. So remember how I said if I click everything, we should be like really high. Okay, so let's check this out. 2000 over. Let's say 2100 DPS here, and let's say 3100 phaser damage. Okay, 2100, 3100. That's easy to remember. Let me buff everything, and let's see where that goes. Bam, 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 bam. 4510 DPS and 6700 phaser damage. Holy guacamole, Batman. That's what I'm talking about. That is incredible. So now you guys see how this ship can be really powerful as a tactical character. Now this ability I can't use right now because we're not targeting something, but this is the quantum destabilizing beam. This is going to do 2000 phaser damage per second for 10 seconds. And there's a 5% chance that you will do plus 15% all energy damage. So even though I enabled all 5 of those and got up to like 4500 DPS just on one dual heavy cannon, enabling this ability gives me a 5% chance of also increasing all energy damage, and it can stack up to 3 times. So 15 times 3 energy damage for 8 seconds. Now, there's only a 5% chance of that happening, but if it does, and if it stacks up to 3 times, I mean, holy crap, my DPS is just bananas. So, I mean, bananas. So that just shows you how all these abilities can kind of tie in together and work together. Really, really cool when they are all synchronizing and working together. Just a massive amount of damage you can do. Okay, the other thing was the cycle haste. So we're talking about the trait. So we'll go to the trait here, the starship trait. On emergency power to weapons, you have a weapon power cycle cost reduction and a firing cycle haste for 30 seconds. So that's another thing to add on. So that's the emergency weapon cycle. So that trait should enable when I hit emergency power to weapons. And yeah, it is. Okay, so it's on. Emergency weapon cycle. Obviously, it's not going to do anything while I'm not in battle, but there it is. The trait is active. Emergency weapon cycle. When I hit emergency weapons. Emergency power to weapons. So that basically is going to reduce the... that's going to reduce my weapon power cost and also give me a weapon weapon haste. Now another thing I can do to reduce my weapon cost is this command ability called Weapon System Efficiency. Minus 25% weapon power cost for yourself and allies. So that's another thing I can do when I'm in battle, because that's a cruiser ability, cruiser command ability. So I actually have two abilities that are reducing my weapon power cost. Two abilities that are doing that. Amazing. Just absolutely amazing. This ship has it all. This ability is really cool. I got this as Emit Unstable Warp Bubble. I think I got this from a mission somewhere, a training manual, and I trained it onto the bridge officer. I've been using it, but it can has a cool ability.
Ship is under attack.
Really cool ability. But that's not part of the ship. That's just a bridge officer ability. So that's fun to use. Of course, I have Rock and Roll. So there's Rock and Roll with this ship. That's a pilot specialization ability, of course. And then again, the Radiant Subatomic Pulse, that's the Iconian stuff. So really the only thing that's native to this ship is this part, the Ablative Hazard Shielding, and then the trait here from enabling that. But I can be pretty darn powerful on this ship. Bet I can get that even higher. 4,800. It was at 4,800 DPS I saw. So anyway, that's all the abilities. What else do we have? Let's see. I guess that's kind of everything. There's nothing left to show you guys except to take this into battle and show you how awesome it is. I'm going to let everything cool down first, so that way I can actually use these abilities. I do have, oh yeah, I had another trait. I guess it's not active now. That when I hit this, oh, maybe it is still there. I'm gaining temporary hit points. Where am I getting that ability from? It's not a starship trait. There's some ability, some trait I have active, that when I hit my attack patterns, other than attack pattern alpha, I get temporary hull strength. But it's not a starship trait, because I don't have any of those active right now. Well, I'm not sure where it's from, to be honest with you, but somewhere I have that trait active. Maybe it's one of these. No. No, it's not these. Okay, well, I don't know. Somewhere something is doing that. I'm not sure what. Maybe it's a specialization thing. Whatever. So when I hit like beta or delta, I'm gaining temporary hit points. 5,525 temporary hit points. Wish I could remember where that was from. I'm sure somebody in the comments will point it out, because I completely forgot where that's from. Anyway, it's a cool ability, and I'm getting it from somewhere. Okay, well, at this point, there's not much else left to do but just to show you this thing in action. So what I'm going to do is queue up an ISA, and we will do an ISA. Now, typically, those go pretty fast. So, you know, I may not be able to show you all of the Starship's abilities in ISA, but I will try to use this ability, which will save me from the Borg. And I'll try to use the Destabilizing Beam, because that is just such a cool ability from that Quantum Catalyst set. And of course I'll use this from the Iconian set. But remember, the only two things that are native to this ship, or specific to this ship, is just the Blade of Hazard Shielding, and then the Cycle Haste and Weapon Power Reduction cost with that 5th Mastery, which I will of course enable, because I always use that. Okay, so stand by, and I will find us an ISA. Okay guys, here we go. ISA, this is probably going to go pretty fast. This is from the 30K/50K channel, so this is probably going to be a pretty fast run here. But remember, what I don't get to show you here, I will demonstrate slower in a patrol afterwards. This is just because everybody plays ISA. This is just the common thing to do, right? So, Yeah. I am ready. Cube, be gone in about 5 seconds. You are the dead Borg. I'm not going to activate Radiant Subatomic Pulse until we are like... I'm not even going to activate it here because I know that this is going to go fast, this first part. I'm going to wait till we get to the gate to activate it because that's where we're going to need the extra damage. See what I mean about going fast? Yeah. Now I'm going to activate that.
Surrender your vessel and prepare for assimilation.
I activated my secondary shielding. Get away from all those explosions.
This time forward, your culture will adapt to service ours.
Alright, I'm going to use the beam here. Here we go. Oh yeah, bring that sucker down. Yep, that was fast. So, that is just a brief showing. We are now going to take this and do some other stuff. I'm going to get queued up for, well, not queued up. I'm going to go take this into the Delta Quadrant. Actually, I'm going to sit here before I go to the Delta Quadrant. I want my people to come back to life first and let all my stuff reset, and then I'm going to go to the Delta Quadrant and we're going to do the Argala. We're going to do that and I'll take a closer look at these abilities, so stand by. Okay, welcome back everybody. I'm on my way to Argala, and if you're wondering, somebody parsed that last ISA run. If you're wondering what my total damage was during that, with this current build, I pulled off 20k in that run. So I'm right at 20k, and I really didn't even get to use my abilities that much because everybody else kind of overwhelmed me. Again, we had 30 and 50k people in that run, so that kind of overwhelmed my DPS. Normally when there's people that are way above you in DPS like that, it kind of underscores yours because you don't really get to do as much or use all your abilities and so forth, and theirs will kind of, you know, overwrite yours in a way. So the fact that I pulled off 20k when I had people that were at 50 or 60k, you know, above me. That is pretty good. So this ship is pretty good. I can definitely do over 20k with it as its current build. So that's not bad. There's room for improvement, of course, but that's pretty powerful for a ship. Any ship over 20k is going to do just fine in this game. Okay, let's see what we can do here.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target shield has failed.
I'm just gonna go on a killing spree, why don't I? So much fun. So much fun, you guys don't even know. Okie dokie, let's take something out.
Target shield has failed.
Yes, sirree. That's how you do that.
Target shield has failed. Target shield has failed.
I engaged my secondary shielding. All these little things here. These on raiders.
Target shield has failed.
Nice.
Target shield has failed. Target shield has failed.
Okay, now what I'm going to do on this last run is I'm going to let my stuff cool down. I want to enable as much of it as I can. Actually, it's already almost all cooled down except for that one. Shoot, he's already attacking. Don't attack yet. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm pulling out. That's not going to get cooled down enough in time. Oh well, screw it. Alright, I'm going in. Change plans. I will not enable that one. I'll just enable everything else. Bam.
Warning, ship is under attack. Target shield has failed.
And gone. Takes care of the Kazon. Woohoo! That ability is cool. All of this is cool. Wait a minute. Why is that still on? Momentum? I saw momentum. Why is my momentum trait shouldn't be on? I don't have that trait on. Oh wait, momentum is a different trait. Oh yeah. Personal trait is momentum. Totally different thing. Okay. Momentum trait is a trait I do have active. That's a personal trait though. That's giving me a flight speed and a turn rate increase. But that's a personal trait, so that's fine. Okay. Good, good, good. So, you guys see how awesome this ship can be, right? It's not just me, right? Let's do something else with this. Let's see, what can we do here? I was thinking that we could do. Oh, there's the shield healing and hull healing now after the after the battle. That's not helpful. I was thinking, why don't we do a battle zone thing, one of those battle things that pop up, but there's none here right now. Pooh. So I guess we won't. There was one earlier. I should have done it then. Am I on cooldown still? No, I'm not. Let's go back to the beta quadrant. Let's see if there's one out here we can do. Oh, here's one close by. Let's do it. I wanted to try to do something a little harder, you know. Sometimes these battle zones can be pretty difficult, but you have to be, like, in a difficult one. The one with the Borg is pretty good. Oh, crap, it went away. Gorn isn't that good. Klingon rebels? We're going to take out some Klingon rebels? Maybe I'll get there in time. I'm going to turn my other traits on just to show you guys how awesome this is. If you have other traits too, because this is really cool. Like pedal to the metal and all those other things. Come on, come on. There we go. We're in. It's already in progress, but that's okay. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm talking about, friends.
Target shield has failed.
Destructive fatality. Haha, blew that thing up. I'm killing him just with my turrets.
We must retreat for now, but we shall return.
That's over. Okay, very nice, very nice. Let's go see if we can find another one. I want something harder though. Give me something harder. Need it harder. More. Let's see. That's so far away up there. Assimilate the barbarians. I think that's Borg. Oh no. Probably won't make it there in time. Dang, it's so far away. Nope, and it's gone. Okay. Let's make a detour at the Dyson Sphere Gateway, shall we? So slow. Only warp 21. Okay. Well, that's gonna take a while. And now we wait. I don't know how else to get across to you guys just how awesome this ship is. I mean, me trying to demonstrate it here in battle, it ain't even good enough because you don't see every scenario that I've been playing in, you know, happen. I've been playing this thing in multiple things. Let's see. I'd like to do a GGA. Let's see if anyone's doing it. I would love to do just something bigger and longer with you guys to show you this ship. Or what is, what's going on right now here? Assault on target, no counterpoint, winter invasion, no. Because this thing really is good. In a prolonged battle, I don't know, I just can't get across to you guys how good enough it is. Oh, now one pops up down there. That's a CSA. Well, you want to do a CSA? Let's do a CSA. It's been a long time since I've done a CSA. Uh-oh. He needs 3 more people. Well, I hope that comes about soon. While I'm waiting on that, let us do travel through the gateway. Come gateway. Let's go to the Delta Quadrant. Because what I want to check out is if there are any deep space encounters there. Maybe there'll be some pop up after I do this CSA. I want a harder thing. Alright, I got no idea how long this is going to take, so I'm going to pause the video for you guys so you don't have to sit through this and wait, and then I will start it again when this is going. And it has begun. It is a CSA. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, but here we go. Let's give it a shot. Haven't even done this in this ship, so this will be new for me doing it in this ship. That's gone.
Resistance is futile.
Not bad. Not bad at all. Pretty cool. Okay. Nice. Have it firing. Yep, that was cool. Nice. Well, that went very smoothly. Pretty fast, too. Okay, alright, okay. Cool. I like it. I like it. I like this ship. One of my more favorite ships to fly. I do want to do something even harder, though. I mean, even though the Borg can be hard or not, I don't know. But I want to do something difficult. Let's do... I want a Herald. I want something Herald. Now it does the shield heal and hull heal after I'm out of battle. See how useless that is? Okay, well, cool. I think what I'm going to do... Ooh, there's a deep space encounter. Wait, I'm going to take this. I'm taking it. It's mine. I don't know what it is, but I'm taking it. Or what alien species, but they're going down. And I'm going inside a ship, apparently. Got a lot of people here. That means it'll be a lot. Cool. Okay, we got the Seeker frigate. I don't know what Seeker frigates are. I forgot. Oh, erosion.
Target shield has failed.
Went right past them. Cool.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target shield has failed. Right shield failing. Target shield has failed. Target shield has failed.
Alright, alright.
Target shield has failed. Rear shield failing. Target shield has failed.
Cool. I'm just having too much fun right now.
Target shield has failed.
Very nice. I'm just having too much fun right now.
Congratulations,
Very cool.
Admiral.
Very nice. That was fun. That was a lot of fun. Oh boy. More fun, more fun. Okay, okay. So that's a couple of things there. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this. I sure am. Maybe I'm having too much fun here. But yeah, what can I say? This is an awesome ship. I do want to kind of squeeze in one more. I really want to do a GGA. So what I think I'm going to do is pause the video until I can get into one and do that, because I really want to summarize with that. It's long, but it'll really give you guys a good indication of how good this ship is, because it's against the Heralds, which are arguably the hardest species in the game. It's either them or the Mirror Universe right now as far as PvE goes. So that'll give you a good indication of how good this ship is in an extended STF, because those Borg ones go so fast. So stand by, I'm going to do that, and then at the very end I will summarize my views and review of this ship. So stay tuned for that too. Okay, welcome back everybody. I finally managed to get a GGA after a very long time. So this will be quite fun, something to really test out our ship
The
here.
invasion of Kronos has been...
So this is GGA, or Gates of Grethor Advanced. But this will be a good test. A very nice lengthy STF to end our review of the Arbiter. Oh boy, we'll get it together. I might have used that prematurely, but it's only going to last 30 seconds and time is running out.
Warning. Core shields failing. Target shields have failed.
Herald reinforcements are inbound!
Core shields failing.
Oh, I hit the wrong button. Whoops, I did not mean to do that. That is what you call a wrong button.
Target shields have failed.
The starbase is secure!
Alright, while that is secure, I'll go help these people on the other side.
The shipyard is secure!
Never mind. Never mind to that. Alright. Good so far. Ready for the transports.
The troop transports from the starbase are moving toward the planet.
Warning. Ship is under attack. Target shields have failed.
I thought somebody got the gate. Or that one. Yeah, okay, got it.
Those gateways are emitting intense levels of theta radiation. Close them.
Target shields have failed.
The troop transports from the starbase are moving toward the planet.
Target shields have failed.
The troop transports from the starbase are moving toward the planet.
Target shields have failed.
The troop transports from the starbase are moving toward the planet.
Crap. Crap, crap, crap. Come on. Okay.
Target shields have failed.
The troop transports from the starbase are moving toward the planet.
Target shields have failed. Target shields have failed.
The troop transports from the starbase are moving toward the planet. The troop transports from the starbase are moving toward the planet. The troop transports from the starbase are moving toward the planet.
Target's shields have failed.
Oh, stop hitting me. Radiation gates are all over the place. Crap. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Close. Thank you.
Target's shields have failed.
Ah. Came up right underneath me. Yay! That was fun. How many did we get? I didn't even notice.
Dreadnought has hit it.
Have to look at the end. Okay, so the main ship will come out right here in 9 seconds. That's not going to be ready, so screw it. That. And that.
Herald ships are attacking the starbase.
Target's shields have failed. Target's shields have failed.
Dang it. It's invisible.
Core shields failing.
And that's how you do a GGA.
Our troops have landed. We will fight for.
Let's see, how many did we get? We got 41 troop transports saved. Hey, that's pretty good. Nice. So that's a pretty good GGA run. As you guys can see, there's not much more I can do to show you this ship. I mean, holy crap. It's good. I mean, it's just good. It's a good ship. This ship is fun. I like this ship. It's so versatile, too. Like I said, there's so many more things that I could do with this ship that I haven't even done yet. So many different build types. I've just shown you one build type, but I mean, come on. You guys know there's a lot more ways you can build this ship and do a much better job than I'm doing on. This is the kind of ship that you can build a very powerful DPS build out of. If that's what you're into, this ship can do it. But at the same time, you won't just be building a glass cannon, as they call it. You will actually be able to sustain yourself in battle and stay alive because of the, quote, cruiseriness of the ship. It has that hybrid of cruiser slash escort. It's a cruiser skort. That's what we'll call it. New name I just came up with, and it's all mine. Cruiser skort. This is a cruiser skort. That's how I'm calling it. The only thing that's a little on the downside for it being an escort is that it does have, like I said, a slow turn rate on its default specification. A slow turn rate. That turn rate is not so inducive to firing forward cannons or that type of thing. However, it can be buffed. It can be fixed. And like I have done, there's many ways that I have improved my flight turn rate and everything here. This console, no, not this console. One of these consoles. This one, the polaric modulator, is good for that. I've got an RCS, and then there was some set here that's also increasing my flight turn rate or something. So there's ways you can increase your turn rate and make that turn rate on this ship better. Once you do that, it is a good cruiser escort. Yeah, really good. I really cannot rave enough about this ship. It is one of my favorite ships. If I were going to keep a ship on here long term, this would definitely be a ship I would keep. I would use this on a tactical character, and I can use this on an engineering character. I wouldn't use this as my science ship, mainly because it doesn't have a commander science station, and if I'm flying a science ship, well, I want to use those tier 3 science powers. So I wouldn't use it as a science ship only because I want to use those maximum science powers. But as an engineer character or a tactical character, I could use this ship on either one, and it is so versatile. And the build I've shown you today is just one out of so many different kinds of ways you can make this thing. You can do your dual beam bank builds, you can do whatever you want, you can use your plasmonic leeches up the wazoo, set your set your flow caps all the way up to max. Yeah, this ship can do that stuff. This ship is good at that stuff if you have those things. I don't have a plasmonic leech, so I can't show you that. But, you know, it's a good ship. If you build it right and buff it right and do it right, man, this thing is so powerful. I'm sitting here raving over a ship. I mean, seriously. I don't think I've raved about a ship like this in a long time. But I cannot overemphasize how awesome this ship is. I just really can't, because you just have to experience it for yourself. This ship, there are a lot of ships that I spend money on, right? Okay, I buy, I purchase, whatever. I review it, and I never use them again. Well, this is not that kind of ship. This ship, I can say I got my money's worth, and I can say is worth the money, to be honest with you. This is the kind of ship that it's just so versatile. It can do so many different things. It can be that powerful escort. It can be a cruiser tanky thing. It can put those together and combine them into one ship. And it does it pretty well. I can't think of anything else, really, that I would like to have on this ship. Yeah, I mean, it's just that good. It's that good. I guess the one thing I don't find as useful are the intelligence powers. I guess I'll just say that. I'm not using any intelligence bridge officer powers, so I don't have that. But you have the option to. I think the maybe command bridge officer powers might be more effective on this ship, because it is kind of a cruisery type of ship. Maybe command powers would have fit it better rather than intelligence powers. That's just my opinion, because it's not really a sciencey type of ship. It's more of a cruisery type of ship, in which case that's where the command powers fit in. So maybe they have a mismatch or a misfit on the type of power they added to the ship. They went intelligence, which is kind of awkward, because usually you find that more on science ship. But, you know, whatever. It is what it is. Still useful. And you got all those cruiser command abilities, the weapon system efficiency, the shield frequency modulation, and the strategic maneuvering of a cruiser on this ship. So you do have that. Of course, the unique console is the ablative hazard shielding. Basically a secondary shield that on expiration gives you a hull and shield heal. So that's quite nice. Otherwise, the Tier 5 Mastery gives you that firing cycle haste. And I'm not really sure what that actually means. I can tell you what it says here, 20% firing cycle haste. I don't know that I actually notice a difference with it, but it is a thing, so it's there. I guess it's doing its thing. And then, of course, the weapon power reduction cost, which is most useful, especially on a ship where you want to do a lot of damage and stuff. So very, very, very welcomed. Again, I'm using the Iconian set here, the full Iconian space set, and the Quantum Phase Catalyst set. So I'm using those two sets together. Otherwise, if I were not using those two sets, I often use, or mostly use, on an escort. I use the assimilated subtranswarp engine combined with the assimilated deflector dish. That gives me the autonomous regeneration sequencer combo. And then in addition, for the shield, I use an Elite Fleet adaptive covariant shield, which can adapt to any energy type. And then I use an Elite Fleet plasma integrated warp core with amp, of course. And I also have weapon to auxiliary on that warp core. So that gives me more auxiliary power, thus increasing my damage more in that way, and critical chance and severity because of that console here. So, just another idea or way to do it. I enjoy that set a lot, but today I just wanted to do something a little different with the Iconian set, because like I said, I am kind of playing around with it, seeing how effective it is. So far, I like it. It's not bad. I'd say it's pretty good for an escort. That shield is pretty good. I think a lot of people like that shield. So, anyway, that's where I'm going to leave this off, man. I cannot think of anything else to say. I've been raving so much, you get the gist of it. You hear the excitement in my voice. You know that I like this ship and I'm excited about this ship. And it is so powerful and versatile. It can do many things for you on an engineer or a tactical character. Really, 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 really good. Okay, I'm going to leave it there. The Arbiter Tier 6 Battlecruiser review done, in the bag. Tell me what you think of this ship. If you're flying it, what your build is like, how you enjoy flying it, and if you plan to get it after watching this video, maybe. Have I swayed you onto this ship enough yet? I don't know. It's almost like a love of mine at this point. I love ship. It's a love boat. Wasn't that a TV show? Love boat. Yeah, that was a TV show. Well, this is my love boat for right now. The Tier 6 Arbiter Battlecruiser. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the next one.